Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk. Man, I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope y'all had a great day overall. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We got some things that we currently need to discuss going on in the boxing world. We're gonna talk about Bob Arum exposing Teofimo Lopez and his current situation with turning down fights and things of that nature. Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis going at it on social media. Then we're gonna open up the platform to some open boxing topics or any type of topics in general, man, because we definitely be getting off the course sometimes, but it is what it is, man. That's what happens when you chopping it up with the family. Shout out to the nation and the mob, man. Let me check where the subscribers is at, man. As of right now, we are only 8 subscribers away from the 2,500 mark, man. Shout out to everybody that's been consistently supporting the channel. The new subscribers that have come around and given the channel a chance, I appreciate it very much. And you guys will not regret it, man. This is where we keep the boxing talk real. This is where we keep the boxing talk knowledgeable. And we're not here to talk about niggas' braids. We're not here to talk about niggas' wives. We're not here to talk about niggas' baby mamas. We don't give a fuck about none of that, bro. It's completely irrelevant. Real men don't go about conversations that way or even take an interest in them type of conversations. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the type of shit that you into, that TMZ, shade room type shit, then you need to go ahead and invest in those channels that partake in them type of conversations. But anyway, the comments is booming already. We already got 17 people in the building with just being 2 minutes in, man. I love this shit right here, man. I'm appreciating what you guys have been bringing to the table. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Jay Cash. Said notifications gang, absolutely, and one of the members of the channel. Don't forget that. Smoochie, you gotta change that name, cuz I don't like saying that name. Smoochie in the building. Coffee Plant. Lorenzo. Agent 007. Who the hell was that? Me? Oh. Marissa Alvarez. What's going on? How you doing, Marissa? Chris Maldonado. What up, homie? One of my high school homies. What's going on? Me and Chris never got to chill during high school. We was in different circles and shit, but we ended up being cool after high school. Shout out to the boy Chris Maldonado. I don't even think we conversed in high school at all. How many members I'm at? I don't know. That's a good question. Let me see. I don't think my members have changed at all. Let me see. Where the members at? It's Stop Motion, J Cash, and Karma Serene. We only got 3 members. Salute. For those of y'all who choosing to support the channel and become members of the nation, putting y'all bread up, I appreciate that very much. You feel me? She said, I ain't changing a damn thing. Oh, shit, my fault. Damn. Well, I'm going to call you something else, dang. I don't feel comfortable as a man. Just a smoochie. Completely different circles. Yeah, that's a fact, but that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? I do remember you clearly, though. So that's all that matters. There's a lot of people I don't really remember from high school, but I remember Chris, though. Salute. My Franklin Town brother. She talking about call her Big Mama. Who the fuck? Yo, Big Mama is Smoochie. What we call her, babe? What we call her? Big Mama or Smoochie? She said you gotta choose. So somebody in the chat. Big Mama. That was funny as shit. She don't give a fuck. Edward Morris, what up? Yeah. So, yeah, man, we got some things that we need to talk about, man. You already know I'm bringing the same type of people around because they continue to embarrass themselves or they continue to keep themselves in the media. So we're going to keep talking about them because that's what we care about, right? These guys are relevant names in the sport of boxing. So, we're going to go ahead and have that conversation about them. Let's see what's going on. Shout out to my boy Bob Arum over here keeping it real about the boy Tio. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see if I can exactly find because I be so caught up in my day. I don't know where I be getting the information from, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram. I gotta go ahead and see what Bob Arum said. Actually, no, as a matter of fact, I'm lying. I remember. Morel had actually posted it on his page. And I'm gonna give you guys a translation. Yo, man, you know that they like, did I tell you They showing like breastfeeding on Instagram and shit.
Who?
They showing like breastfeeding on Instagram now. Like they done found a loophole to show titties on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why the
Fighter.
ain't no man breastfeed. That's crazy as shit. But anyways, Subrel posts this, and apparently he got it from Ring Magazine. So let me pull up Ring Magazine's page. Yes, sir. Here it is. This is Bob Arum's quote, and he's talking about Teofimo Lopez. He's talking about Teofimo Lopez. Now, Teofimo has been a conversation lately. You know, he's been keeping himself relevant. I guess I could give him credit for that, but not for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? He's been going at it, having disputes with Top Rank. You know, coming at Todd the Buff. He's bringing up audits and all types of things. You know what I'm saying? I just heard him come out with this conspiracy talking about how Gervonta Davis, bought all the houses in the block he grew up in, then burned all of them for insurance purposes and all this crazy shit, bro. Like on some real shit, that's the type of shit that you really get sued for. You know what I'm saying? But Teofimo Lopez ain't the brightest. He's not the brightest. The brightest person in the room, even though he may believe so. You feel what I'm saying? So, he's been offered fights. He's been offering fights. His team has been offering fights. He can't offer anything against, several names. None of them guys, really took the opportunity, strictly because, for one, Boots was set on unifying the division, and it seems like he's about to do that against Stanionis. It seems like that's really close to being done. Then he had offered a fight against Devin Haney. Devin Haney said that was baby money. You know what I'm saying? And Turkey Al-Sheikh had offered him a bigger bag previously, and he had turned it down. So why would he settle for less money when there's supposed to be more money in the pot? Teofimo made, he came out 24 hours afterwards, probably less than that, talking about how he wasn't satisfied with the money that Top Rank was bringing to the table. And, they had offered a fight with Subrel Matias. There was reports that they was finalizing the deal. It seemed like everybody was on board, that Teofimo Lopez, counter offered the deal. They gave him a purse that was the biggest purse of his career from what Bob Arum said, and it was above his minimum. You feel what I'm saying? So if you guys negotiated a contract where you're supposed to get, $2 million a fight, and then they offering you 3.5 for Subrel, you can't say that that's a bad deal because you signed for $2 million minimum. You see what I'm saying? So if they offering you more than what the minimum states on a contract, you can't necessarily say that that's a bad deal because you work for what you negotiate. That's what you negotiated for yourself. But regardless, this is Bob Arum's, quote. But before I get into that, shout out to the boy Old School 868. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people not really satisfied with Teofimo Lopez right now. I see it all in the comments. But this is Bob Arum's quote. We offered him his biggest purse ever for Subrel Matias and the opportunity to earn even more if somehow the pay-per-view took off. And he turned that down. Simple quote from Bob Arum. In the caption from Ring Magazine, Bob Arum continues. It says, the question is, what won't he turn down? Where is his head at? Who does he want to fight? We gave him a whole group of fighters. And it's not like he's coming off great performances. He looked terrible with Jermaine Ortiz, and people thought he lost that fight, although I thought he won it. And then he fought Steve Claggett, who's not Superman. He wasn't able to destroy Claggett. So again, I don't know what effort he is willing to put in anymore. And I don't know where his head is at. But, he'll come around to tell us who he wants to fight. And if we can arrange it, we'll do it. So Bob Arum has stated in the past that he's not really about to break his head over Teofimo Lopez and whatever, situation he got going on. Is either the motherfucker want to fight or he don't. That was one of, obviously, summarizing what he said. He didn't say that word for word, but that's what he was getting at, prior to this statement right here. And I think that this was right around the time where he said that he was comparing Teofimo Lopez to Alice in Wonderland and all types of shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So now he's coming out and saying like he's questioning Teo's mental at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, we offering you all these big fights. We offering you money. What the fuck? What more do you want? You know what I'm saying? And he said, yo, you was because Teo seemed like he was on board with the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? It seemed like he was on board with the pay-per-view fights and things of that nature because he was flaunting. He was flexing that. He was on social media flexing how he was offering these dudes fights for 2.4 million plus, pay-per-view revenue and things of that nature. So it seemed like that was something he was on board with, and it sounded like it made sense to him at that point in time. So Bob Arum was telling you, yo, we offer him the biggest purse that he could have ever received, with an upside of pay-per-view revenue if he was able to, sell something. And he still turned it down. So now Bob Arum, is pretty much clueless on how to approach Teofimo Lopez. And he's coming out here saying, what won't he turn down? So it seems like what Bob Arum is trying to say is this motherfucker's turning down everything left and right. Yeah, I mean, they're giving him offer after offer, and nothing seems to satisfy Teo. So what is it that he wouldn't turn down? You know what I mean? He's questioning his mentality, asking where his head's at. You know what I mean? Who the hell does he want to fight? And he's asking that because they done gave him a whole group of fighters to select from, and Teo is just plucking them left and right, turning them down left and right. So it's getting Bob extremely frustrated with dealing with this dude because, you know what I mean? He's trying to do his job as a promoter. He's trying to keep Teo active, but, he can't help Teo if Teo doesn't want to help himself. You feel what I'm saying? Then went on to assess a couple of his performances. He said Jermaine Ortiz, he looked trash. Steve, he pretty much called Steve Claggett ordinary, and he couldn't destroy Steve Claggett, which is very true. And he's questioning, like, what the fuck Teo's gonna do next. You know what I'm saying? And look, I don't think Bob Arum's wrong in his assessment, bro. Like, if you just put yourself in the perspective of a promoter, and you got a shit ton of fighters that you got to accommodate, right? You got to make sure that all the prospects you got are staying active. You got to make sure that your contenders are staying active, in hopes to have them fight for a world title, aka Keyshawn, aka Raymond Mortataya. And then you got the champions, or you got the champions and multi-division champions that you want to continue building. You feel what I'm saying? The Teofimo Lopez happens to be in the category of a multi-division world champion. So that's one of the guys that he got. That's one of the most decorated fighters in his stable. Of course, you want to keep him active, right? So, he's trying to find exactly what Teofimo Lopez wants, but he's not going to do it at the expense of hurting his pockets. A lot of promoters not in the game to lose money. I say it all the time. Promoters are not in the game to lose money. If a fighter is asking for $5-6 million because he sees his peers making that type of money, meanwhile, when you're looking over numbers, you only see that Teo is, bringing in 2 to 3. This is hypothetical numbers. I don't know the numbers. You know what I'm saying? But I already know for a fact that they don't really believe in Teofimo Lopez's ability to sell. His ability to sell pay-per-view or just selling in general. So let's say he's asking for $5-6 million because he sees Shakur making 5 over here. He sees Dev making this much over here. He sees Tank making this much over here. So he thinks he's in that class. You feel what I'm saying? So he might be asking for $5-6 million. Oh, I never came home with $1 million before. I done been grinding for top rank, so I feel like I deserve this. You can feel like you deserve whatever you want. It's all about the numbers that you generate at the end of the day. If you were grossing 10 million, altogether and pay-per-view revenue and live gates, then you could ask for those type of numbers. But when you're only generating $2 to $3 million, in total, why would they ever go out of their way to sell to give you $6 million? They're not in the game to lose money. You feel what I'm saying? So it got to be extremely frustrating being in Bob's position, you know what I mean, knowing that this guy wants this type of money, and you that he don't generate this type of money. You're not going to see any profit out of it. So it's like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and lose money because you overestimating your worth in the market, in the boxing market. So I'd rather just sit your dumb ass down, wait for you to get your head clear, and come back to the table with a logical mindset. You feel what I'm saying? So I see what Bob Arum is saying. You know what I mean? I question Teofimo's mentality myself. I've been doing that for a very long time, and a lot of people haven't been taking my criticism serious. I genuinely believe that there's something wrong with Teofimo Lopez, and I've said this multiple times on my channel already. Just go ahead and watch Teofimo Lopez old interviews, because I like to watch old interviews to see how fighters have matured, or how they've digressed. In the years going by as a fighter. And Teofimo Lopez seemed to be a lot more well-spoken. He seemed to be a lot more clear-minded, and his thoughts were a lot more well put together and sensible when he was younger in comparison to how the way he is now. You feel what I'm saying? Off the ropes boxing and MMA says Tio has that Jameson Winston CTE. Well, that's what a lot of people have been, saying. I hope that's not true. That's something that I take very serious, and hopefully, you know what I mean, Tio just having like a low point, from a mental aspect, and hopefully he'll be able to bounce back. The last thing I ever want to say is that a fighter suffering with CTE, but unfortunately, that happens to be a reality with a lot of the fighters that we see. You know what I mean? Especially after they retire, when they become older. I told you guys, I went to the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, and I didn't expect to feel sad. I didn't expect to feel, upset watching these fighters having trouble walking and asking for $20, $30 for an autograph, and, barely being able to, having other people count their money for them, stuttering, not being able to put complete sentences together. Bro, why you keep doing that? Fuck. She all up like on me, bro. I had to smack her just now, allegedly. God damn. You know what I'm saying? And I've been dead serious about Tio having psychological issues, but I hope it's not as far as CTE. You feel me? I hope it's not as far as CTE, but everybody at this point is questioning Tio's mentality. It seems like the only person that's not questioning Tio's mentality is Tio. Or his father, but his father definitely got some psychological issues as well. So I guess the what they say, the fruit don't fall far from the tree. You know what I'm saying? They seem to have a lot more in common than differences. Unfortunately, so that's what Bob Arum said about Teofimo Lopez. I guess Morel got wind of this comment, and he went on his page to express his own opinions on what's going on, because his name was brought up. And it's a pretty funny comment from Morel. He actually wrote it in English. He mentions Turkey Al-Sheikh and says, at Turkey Al-Sheikh, if you mention Matias to Teofimo Lopez, you'll see him shit his pants and run. That's Subrel Matias's statement right there, man. And Subrel got every right to feel that way, because I remember, if we just go a little bit back, Teofimo Lopez was talking shit about Puerto Rican fighters, saying how Puerto Rican fighters are easy. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you could find posts from Teofimo Lopez on Instagram talking about how he got a left hook like a Puerto Rican. He playing Puerto Rican music in his videos, and just completely dickying off the Puerto Rican culture, because I guess he don't find his Honduran culture to be that cool, which was why he was running around with Spaniard flags and shit like that. Look, man, I got a lot of Spaniard blood in me as well. You know what I mean? Especially after I did my ancestry test. I think Spain was my second highest DNA percentage. You don't see me running around with no motherfucking Spaniard flag. You know why? Because I'm in tune with where I originally come from. I don't need to be doing all that other shit. When motherfuckers, like, if you're from Honduras, there's no reason why you should be spreading a whole other flag around. You see what I'm saying? That's a nigga who don't got any culture, you know what I mean? Or is looking for, some type of identity. You feel me? He got German suplex by Boca Chica. Yeah, I remember that. Boca Chica dropped him with a punch. And then Tio was hitting him after the bell, so then he German suplexed that nigga. So not only did he get dropped with a punch, he got dropped on his head. You know what I'm saying? On some motherfucking Eddie Guerrero shit. Eddie Guerrero used to pick niggas up and slam them on their head, then pick them up again, slam them on their head. He used to be on that type shit. You feel me? A lot of Latinos have Spaniard blood. Absolutely. When you do the research, when you do the history of Puerto Rico, you know what I mean? Spain took over Puerto Rico at one point in time, and that's why we speak Spanish. So, you know what I'm saying? Makes a lot of sense. My biggest DNA percentage is Portugal. It's Portugal, then it's Spain, and then it's basically like all Africa after that. But when you total up all the different parts from Africa, it equals the same amount as Portugal, which is my number one. So I think it's like 26% Portugal, 24% Spaniard. And then it's like when you tally up all the different parts of Africa that I'm from, that comes out to 26% as well. I do have native blood. Yes, I do. I got indigenous. I'll tell y'all right now. I got indigenous Puerto Rican roots as well. Look how Africa lit up though on my chart. Look at that shit. So Portugal, 26%. Spain is 25%. I think that shit done went up. Indigenous Puerto Rican, 14%. Then after this is all Puerto Rico. This is all Africa. This is all Africa shit. How I took the test, you gotta go to Ancestry.com and buy a kit. Me and my girl did it. They send you like a test kit with like a tube. You know, you got pretty much spit in the tube to where the limit is at. Seal it, put it back in the container, ship it off. How long it took us? Like 3 weeks or something like that? 3-4 weeks, like a month. And then we was able to get our results back. She got her results back quicker than mine. Mine's was like a couple days ahead, behind hers. You actually found out some shit about yourself though that you didn't know.
Let them have Thai.
That you got Thai. Yeah, you got Thailand roots, and then what was the other one? Indonesia. You ain't know that? That's pretty cool to know.
Okay, so this is our form 4.
Okay.
This is what I did.
Not bad. Let me see the photo. That's not bad. I like it. It's not bad. You just gotta keep grinding and keep perfecting that shit, and you'll be ready before you knew it. My fault, y'all. So after the indigenous Puerto Rican, which is 14%, so I actually got a lot of, native Puerto Rican roots. Senegal is at the top of the list. I did not know that. I got Senegal blood. Western Bantu peoples, which is like all South Central and Southwestern Africa. You know what I mean? That's dope to see. Then the next big one is, what's this? Oh, Mali. Mali, which is right by Senegal and Ghana and Libya. Then we got Ivory Coast and Ghana. Nigeria, which I didn't know. I didn't know that because my father has a lot of Nigerian blood. Northern Africa, Cameroon. Bro, and I'm 1% Swedish. I thought that shit was crazy. I'm from Sweden, y'all. 1% Sweden. I'm 1% Swedish, y'all. Let's go, champ. But yeah, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, man. And I got 2 different types of Jew in me too. That shit is kind of crazy. Ashkenazi Jews, 3%, and then Sephardic Jews, 1%. Come on, y'all. Stop playing with me, man. I'm a little bit of everything out this motherfucker, man. I'm well versed. But yeah, the majority of my roots is, pretty much a mixed child, man. Some European blood, almost half European blood, almost half African blood. Yeah, J Cash, you heard me. You heard me. Got a little bit of Jew in me. Yeah. Yo, man, I always been curious on what. Oh, okay, J Cash. I ain't know that. See, you putting me on to some knowledge. I know for a fact that I got the Jewish side from my mom's side, and if y'all was to see what my mother looked like, then y'all be like, oh, that makes sense. Look like a white woman. My mom got like hazel eyes, blonde hair. Y'all be like, oh, yeah, that's why. Mm-hmm. Am I tight with money? Babe, ask. She can answer that. They asked if I'm tight with money. No? Well, not with you. Look, this is the thing. I don't mind spending money on, my family. Like my girl, I don't mind spending money on her, my son. I mean, her, her kids, I don't mind spending money on if they need it. But me, like when it comes to spending money on me, nigga, I don't like to spend money cause I won't buy myself. My girl been buying all my sneakers lately. For real, for real. I don't think I bought a single pair of sneakers since I've been with her. She be buying the sneakers. She be buying me shirts, shit like that. It's like once in a while I buy something for myself, bro. So, I'm not tight. I wouldn't say I'm tight with my family, but definitely tight with when it comes to myself. I was supposed to have this medicine of fucking weeks ago and I ain't never bought it. That's something that I need. You feel what I'm saying? Marky Dan, what up? But my fault, I got too caught up in the ancestry talk. You see how the way we be going? We spoke about Bob, Arum, Mateo, and then we just started talking about ancestry. But nah, y'all, I always been interested in knowing where I came from. You know what I'm saying? My girl motivated me to do it for real, because we was talking about it in bed, and she was like, "Oh, I just bought a kit." I'm like, "Damn, what's that shit? Let me buy a fucking kit." Yeah, it was on sale. So I was like, you know what? Let me buy a kit because she bought one so we can do this shit together. So she pretty much forced my hand. You know what I mean? Just me being cheap. You feel what I'm saying? And it was pretty dope to find out. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, I looked a lot different than everybody else in my family. And when you young, you don't really pay attention to race and shit like that. But I remember they used to be like, "Oh, you got some big ass lips." And then they used to ask if I was black. Puerto Ricans would look at me like I was black. You know what I'm saying? And then black people would look at me like I was a Rican. You know what I mean? And then it was like white people would look at me as black. I was like, bro, what the fuck am I? Then I started doing my research on Puerto Rico. Then I started looking at my dad. I'm like, yo, my dad look like a black man. Oh shit, my mom look like a white woman. What the fuck going on? Then you start to understand the difference between nationalities, and race. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you Puerto Rican, but that's a nation. That's a ethnicity. That's not a race. Then you start to really understand who you are and where you come from. Then my dad did it, and I'm like, oh shit. So that's one half of my DNA. I gotta figure out my other half. You feel me? So I was always curious about that. So I'm glad I did it. And not only that, it'll link you up with people who you're related to. Like if there's anybody on the website, and this is, if you guys grew up without a father, grew up without a mother, and they happen to be alive, shit, they might connect you with that person. Like my father is on my list of matches. You know what I'm saying? And I got one first cousin that's on here that I'm familiar with. Then there's a whole bunch of second cousins and third cousins and shit like that. Some of them I know, some of them I don't know. And it's interesting because my dad told me that one of his great grandfathers lived in Mexico, was from Mexico, Puerto Rico. He went over to Puerto Rico for work because Puerto Rico was known for sugarcane and shit like that. Took a boat over to Puerto Rico, started a family in Puerto Rico. Then later on in life, took the boat back to Mexico, and then he died in Mexico. So my dad got a bunch of family members scattered throughout Southern California and Mexico. So I always thought that shit was pretty interesting. And looking through my second and third cousins, I got a lot of people with like Mexican type names. You know what I'm saying? Like Julio, Cesar, and all the I mean, not to be, stereotypical, but you can tell they not Puerto Rican names, you feel me? So look, my father on here and shit. This shit is hilarious. Seeing my dad on here is hilarious. It says like 50% DNA shared and all that shit. You know what I mean? So it's dope. It's dope. I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of do, like, later on down the line, I do want to pay like a little bit extra just to see who my ancestors are and shit like that. Yeah, bro, being a mixed kid is a motherfucker, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Because it's like, damn, like, who the fuck do I identify with? You know what I'm saying? So it's good to know exactly where I come from and shit like that. But anyways, we got 31 people in the building, man. If y'all could hit the like button as soon as y'all come in, that'd be very much appreciated. We're about to get back to this boxing talk. Let's talk about the main thing that has been, trending on social media as of right now. I've seen it on Shade Room. I've seen it on all these different, social media platforms that got a lot of clout and shit like that. A lot of people were sending me over videos. Sending me over posts and asking me what I think about it. A lot of high school friends. asking me what I think about it and shit like that, because to them, I'm the boxing guy, so they always want to know what I think when they're intrigued in a particular boxing topic. And I was gonna come out with a video, but I ain't gonna lie, I ain't dropped a video in like a month. You know what I'm saying? Go check. I've only been dropping shorts and lives. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't really had the time to really sit down and, chop it up about some boxing. But I'm gonna start making videos like on every Sunday. Like after I'm done my training sessions, probably Saturday and Sundays, I'll sit down, put the tripod up, and just get the conversing. You know what I'm saying? I got to get back on my video shit. That's what pay the most anyway. You know what I mean? For those of y'all who content creators, you feel me? I did see the Layla Ali interview with Andre Ward, but I did not sit down to watch the video yet. Layla Ali is a big figure in the sport of boxing. She's the daughter of a legend, so of course I'm going to check it out. And she's a well-spoken, beautiful lady as well. So I'm a fan of Layla Ali, a very intelligent woman, and I'm going to definitely hear her out for sure. And shout out to Andre Ward for putting these interviews together. The Art of Ward, beautiful thing. Shout out to All the Smoke for getting Andre Ward involved and really digging into the boxing culture. They couldn't have chose a better person. Andre Ward, I would have liked for him to have stuck more in like the commentary lane, but it is what it is. I think that's his true calling. He think him being a pastor is a true calling, which is his prerogative. That's his life. You know what I mean? He knows his purpose at the end of the day. And now he's doing like interviews for All the Smoke, which is cool. But I think like what Andre Ward is really good at is the commentary side. I don't think there's many people who share the perspective that Andre Ward got. I don't think there's many people that break down boxing the way Andre Ward does. They don't really see what he sees. And plus, on top of that, you know what I mean? He doesn't really fuck up his words. You don't really be hearing him stutter. He speaks very well, and he's a very intelligent man. So that's the type of commentary that we need, not this bullshit that we be seeing nowadays. I mean, I ain't even about to be dissing niggas, but, a lot of these commentators, they terrible. You know what I'm saying? She said I fell asleep. Them all the way to work. Boxing Talks in the AM was classic. I'll bring them back. You know what I mean? It ain't gone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm going to get back to it, though. I've been dealing with my health and shit like that, so I ain't really been worried about videos. I know, what up? So let me see if I can find a video, because Gervonta be deleting tweets on some turkey shit, so I gotta find a video where they was able to screenshot and then they put the videos together just so we could get an exact like time frame on who said what, when they said it, and shit like that. Let me see. So there's a couple videos that's broken up. I typed Gervonta Davis, and the first thing that came up was my live. Let's go, Jan. Yeah, they don't like that. So pretty much they've been going back and forth for like, the past day and a half. Now it had all started when Terence Crawford had pretty much said, oh, look, I guess somebody's mad they ain't get invited to the gala or some shit like that. Gervonta Davis had ended up responding the following morning and was saying how you need it. Talking about like he need to be there, like he need the money, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. Then he started trying to flex his bread, talking about I make more money than you. And Terence Crawford like, nigga, you ain't getting money how you say you getting. That's why you trying to rematch Ryan Garcia, which is a solid point. If you getting money how you say you is, why you keep trying to spin the block with the one nigga who you made the most money with? If you can make that money anywhere, why you trying to spin the block with him? A great point from Terence Crawford. Gervonta Davis, he one of them emotional dudes that when he ain't really got much to say about you, or when he can't call you trash, that's when he start getting disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And Gervonta Davis said a few things. Terence Crawford has said something along the lines of, first thing a dumb rich person say to another rich person is, I got more money than you. I bet I own more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy nothing I can't buy that I want, sir. And, he continued to go on. And Gervonta said, oh, my mama, you don't, bitch-ass boy. So he's saying you ain't got more investments than me. This type of talk I don't like for real. Gervonta just tweeted as we speak. He ain't really saying shit though. And Gervonta saying this what happened when a nigga never had shit. They start talking crazy. Nigga, if you didn't know, they was calling me before your bitch ass and still calling, and you still in the same position, dick eater. You still got to do as you told. Like, what the fuck is Gervonta talking about? What the fuck what does Terence Crawford have to do for anybody? I don't really understand that point. You feel what I'm saying? And you talking about this what happened when a nigga never had shit. Tank, you were a nigga who never had shit. And you the one who brought up the whole idea of money. You the one who started talking crazy. All he said was that you was mad because you ain't get invited. Yeah, nigga, you was in your feelings because you ain't get invited. Then you start bringing up money. He brought up how, nigga, you can't buy, like, nigga, we both rich. Like, what are you talking about? Ain't nothing that you could get that I can't get. You know what I'm saying? He telling you what type tax bracket in you in. He said, oh, these niggas start talking crazy. That's how you know when niggas ain't never had shit. Tank, your parents were crackheads. You lived in a foster home. You had to box your way out of poverty. You're literally describing yourself. The fuck are you talking about, right? And he continues to go on. And when I call his parents crackheads, I'm not disrespecting them. You know what I'm saying? He said that. He put that story out there. That's public knowledge. I'm not over here disrespecting nobody's parents. He said both of his parents was on drugs. Am I lying or not? And if he feel a way about that, he shouldn't have put that out here for people to know. You feel me? But I think the most disrespectful part for real, the most disrespectful part for real is Gervonta taking a shot at Terence Crawford's girl and his family overall. He said, and he got 8 kids and his wife like 380. Yo, I'm sorry, bro. I try not to laugh at that shit, but that's just like that's out of pocket. Like, you tell it, this nigga said that Terence Crawford's wife weighed 380. God damn. Nigga, do you know who weighed 380, cuz? That's like Rock. I was saying this in the group chat. That's like a prime Rakishi. That's like Umaga, nigga. Like, that's like who weighed 380, nigga? That's like, yo, that's like a baby Big Show, nigga. Like what is we talking about? That shit is crazy. He said he got 8 kids and his wife like 380. Yeah, buddy got to work overtime. Terence Crawford didn't really pay too much mind to that. I'm sure that shit definitely got under his skin, but he said, look, I got bigger fish to fry. Grow some balls and fight Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis and stop being scared. That's probably why you ran your girl over and beat her ass, because you ain't got no nuts and she know it. So he throwing little shots at him as well. He throwing little personal digs at him as well. And, it ain't nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? That went past that. But, Gervonta Davis is a little disrespectful motherfucker, bro. He's a little disrespectful motherfucker, bro. You know what I mean? And you could tell that Gervonta, like, he really all in on this tough guy act. And this is my opinion on it. I don't know Gervonta Davis personally, right? I don't know the guy personally, so I can never jump out and tell this nigga what he cut like or anything like that. But based off of the story that you told us, you was never really in the mix like that, Tank. Based off of the story that you told us, you grew up in a boxing gym. You came up and talked about how boxing saved you, right? You said you used to sleep outside the gym. You used to wait outside the gym for them to open up the door so you could go in and train. That's a beautiful story. And look, it led you to create generational wealth for you and your family. So I applaud you for that. However, it seemed like since Tank has become this, megastar, he jumping out of the woodworks and telling niggas that he gonna pull up at their cribs and, I have niggas waiting outside your house and, you touch me, that'd be the last time you ever do this and do that. It's like, Tank, where is this shit coming from? Where is this shit coming from? Like seriously, where the fuck is all this bullshit coming from, bro? You came from Baltimore. That's a rough area. I done been over there multiple times. It's a rough area. I know people from there. That's a rough area. I'm sure you done seen some shit. I done seen some shit. I'm not telling you ain't been through nothing, but stop acting like you one of these hard body ass niggas out here that can't be faded, or you know what I'm saying. You got a rap sheet, like you certified in these streets, and if niggas do this to you, it's like, nigga, cut it the fuck out, Tank. You are 5'3" and 138 pounds. Talking crazy to Terence Crawford, who on some real shit has a high probability of fucking you up outside of the ring. Let's just keep it a buck, Tank. Another thing, when we watched you come up, and I brought this up on Twitter, Tank don't dare respond to me on Twitter for some reason. This nigga respond to everybody and their mom. Never respond to me when I be clapping back at him. A nigga from Philadelphia pressed you multiple times in person, done got in your face, asked you to rumble, all types of shit. And I done brought this up several times. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. That situation with Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer ain't no street nigga. Tevin Farmer about to get married. This nigga living in Jersey, living his best life with the millions that he done made back when the zone first kicked off. He was at the right place at the right time, made like 5 title defenses, made millions of dollars, and now he living off the fruits of his investments. Congratulations to Tevin Farmer. You feel what I'm saying? I seen that man walk up to you several times and ask you to rumble. And when you try to push that nigga, he ain't go nowhere. He was not afraid of you. He pressed you multiple times and you never did anything. But you over here trying to create this image that you the pop off type of nigga, touch you swinging off. Like, nigga, cut it the fuck out. Seriously, cut it the fuck out, bro. What history do you got of swinging at niggas outside of fights? Like, just answer that. Like, who you swung on outside of the ring that we know of? Like, I'm sick of these fucking boxers just trying to pretend to be these tough niggas because they could fight a little bit. Nigga, the dynamic inside of the ring and outside of the ring is two different things. I've seen very skilled professional boxers fight outside of the ring and fight nothing like they do inside of the ring. Like, and I'm not saying that Tank one of those types. I'm sure the motherfucker is dangerous in the street fight. What I'm telling you is, nigga, you ain't never shown no history of being no street nigga, Mr. Pop Off, Tony Tough Guy, and all that bullshit. So why the fuck is you showing it now? You know what I'm saying? Like, we heard shit about Gary Russell. He punched Terence Crawford in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? We heard shit about Keyshawn. He knocked Teofimo Lopez dead out. We never heard none of that shit about you. You know what I'm saying? And this is what at Coffee Plant, I said this in the group chat on Instagram. I said, this nigga be moving like the Charlos. These Charlo niggas be running their mouth talking about how they affiliated with this and that, and we can fight outside of the ring, blah, blah, blah. Then we see Jermell Charlo get the bullshit slapped out of him by that white boy from Tennessee. He don't even bother throwing a punch back. And they want to blame it on mental health. Nigga, that ain't mental health. That's heart health, nigga. I know some niggas with mental health issues that would have popped off if they got slapped by Caleb Plant. Jermell Charlo, he not like that. Jermell Charlo, Jared Hurd done swung a slap at this nigga. I don't know if he landed it or not, but you ain't do nothing neither, nigga. I seen David Benavidez push Jermell Charlo at a fight and ain't nothing happened. These niggas just be talking a good game, bro. And it ain't like I'm sitting here challenging the niggas. I don't want to fight none of these niggas. What I'm telling you is these niggas be bluffing. Be bluffing. It ain't beef. If it was beef, we pulling up the niggas' cribs. Like, Tank, you not pulling up at nobody crib, nigga. You not. You not pulling up to nobody crib. Your little ass is not pulling up to nobody crib. Imagine your little ass hopping out of motherfucking one of those Sprinter vans acting like you want to smoke. Like, nigga, you don't even be driving yourself. You can't even drive yourself nowhere no more. Because you be hitting pregnant bitches and taking off. Like, shut the fuck up. Ain't that what happened with Tank? Ain't that why he went to jail? The nigga had a hit and run with a pregnant bitch or something. Like, nigga, you not even doing that. Yeah, I remember when Daniel Jacobs bitched up Charlo. He was like, "Woo, look who I came to see." He said, "So what you talking about?" Oh, yeah, man. Jamal Charlo was talking that low in front of all the cameras. Yeah, man, we can fight. We can fight. He said, "Nigga, I'm touching M's. You ain't even touching M's yet. I'm touching M's. Like, what's this shit you talking about? Oh, man, we can fight. We can fight. Let's do it. Let's do it. Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga." He said, "You ain't touched the M yet. I'm touching M's." He flexed on that nigga in front of everybody. He just sitting up against the wall. Nigga looked like he wanted to put his whole body into the wall. Like he just wanted to melt into that motherfucker. Pussy. And they had to have his little homie speak up for him. Now, them little niggas right there, those ones they get their ass whipped for trying to, you know what I mean, be involved in some grown man shit. He was like, he pussy. Look at him. Look at him. He's pussy. Now, Daniel Jacobs would have beat young boy ass. You know Jamal Charlo wasn't going to do nothing because he's soft. He's soft to the baby shit. That nigga Jamal had his head up against that concrete wall. He looked like he wanted to melt into that motherfucker, bro. Like he looked like he was so uncomfortable. I seen Andre press Jamal at a press conference, and he's like, you know, I ain't a promoter, bro. I'm not a promoter, bro. I'm not a matchmaker. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You a fighter. You could pick whoever the fuck you want to fight for real. The fuck is you talking about? Stupid ass. These niggas be making me sick, bro. It's like, bro, you don't gotta act like a tough nigga, bro. Like we respect you for what you do inside the ring. You ain't gotta prove to us that you hard body outside the ring, nigga. Like, Tank, cut it out. You ain't be popping up at these fights, nigga. So you be talking all this shit about what'll happen if niggas will do something to you. Nigga, you ain't even be outside. Where the fuck is niggas gonna have the opportunity to do something to you at? What fights you ever be at? I'm not a matchmaker, bro. Yeah, that was Jamal Charlo pussy ass. That should be all cat, bro. You talk all that shit. This nigga Jamala called everybody and their mama out when he drunk on Instagram live and shit. And then when they press him, I'm not a matchmaker, bro. We don't really got to say so who we fight. Nigga, shut your hoe ass up. And Jamel be talking all that Lions only shit. And listen, he a dog. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he showed dog before, but he got in Philly, it's a shit called niggas having picks. If a nigga say he ain't got no picks, that mean he don't give a fuck. Like, he keep the same energy with everybody. Like, he rapped out. If a nigga got picks, that means they selective with who they act crazy with. Jamel, one of them niggas, he got picks, bro. Like, he'll wild out on, this nigga over here and that nigga over here. But that nigga that's down the block, aka Canelo, he gonna, he gonna make some attitude adjustments. You feel me? Nope. Charlo ain't have not even a little bit of smoke for Canelo. That nigga went right on his bicycle. He felt Canelo punches on his arms. He was like, oh shit. He said, hold up. Let me put that lion shit on pause, nigga. We about to be cheetahs only and run around this ring. Shit. Turn that nigga to a cheetah. Road runners only. The fuck out of here. Tank was like, I wish you would. And what happened? Neither one of them niggas did anything, bro. These dons be all empty threats, cuz I'm telling you. So that's why I don't really care to talk talk too deep into Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis talking shit about each other on social media. Why? Because them niggas ain't gonna rumble each other. Terence Crawford done told you he go down to 47 to beat Gervonta Davis ass. He said, I'll make the weight for that. Gervonta Davis, that nigga don't even want to see 40. You think he want to see 47? Nah, man. So it's extremely pointless to continue to go on about this conversation because we not gonna benefit from it from a boxing fan's perspective. We just seeing niggas talk shit on the internet. We don't want to see niggas talk shit on the internet. If we wanted to do that, then we want to be boxing fans, nigga. We'll go watch baddies or some shit. We go watch Love and Hip Hop. If we want to see niggas talk shit, go back and forth on TV or on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But we fans of boxing. So because we fans of boxing, we want to see niggas rumble. We don't want to see niggas gossip. Simple and plain. So that's why I don't really care. People asking me what my thoughts are on it and all this shit. I don't really have no thoughts on it. I don't really care to continue talking about it because, you know what I mean? Where is it going to get us a fight? No. So what's the point in even indulging in that conversation? What's the point of even adding fuel to the fire? It's not going to go anywhere. That fire going to fade out. Remember Tank said he would tap that chin? Nigga not tapping nothing but his little size 3 boots together and running over to his crib and floating over to his crib on that fruity shit that he be on. Nigga ain't gonna tap shit but his boots together 3 times and float to Neverland. The fuck is he talking about? Let that nigga tell it. This nigga Macho Man Randy Savage, but don't want to fight nobody. Fuck out of here. This nigga more optimistic about fighting Jake Paul than the Terence Crawford. That nigga Tank and my son wear the same sneaks. They both a 5C. Tell that nigga I got some all black forces for him. I ain't got them over here. They in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga calling out Jake Paul. Like, nigga, shut up, nigga. I swear to God, if that shit was to ever manifest or get put together some way, somehow, that nigga Tank is the biggest pussy in history. Because what weight does what weight does Jake Paul fight at? Light, heavy, cruiser, heavyweight? His last fight was at heavyweight. So you mean to tell me that Devin Haney and these niggas too big for you to rumble? 140 niggas too big for you to rumble. 147 niggas too big for you to rumble. But you could go ahead and fight a nigga who fought between light heavyweight and heavyweight? The hypocrisy is real, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, Tank not going to be no all-time great, bro. That nigga, based off of what he's saying, you know what I mean? He already in his 30s. He already in his 30s with a trash-ass resume. And they keep talking about, oh, well, his wins are aging well. Like, nigga, we gotta wait. All right, nigga, all right. Some of them fucking Johns is aging well. All right, cool. But how about fighting a nigga who don't have to age well? Why we gotta wait to see nigga? Why, like, Floyd was fighting Cotto when the nigga was established. Why we gotta wait to see Gervonta Davis' opponents win, a couple good fights for that shit to look good on his resume? That shit should look good as soon as he win the fight. PBC uploaded the 8-year anniversary of Tank versus Pedraza. The best win of his career. That shit was almost a decade ago. Niggas still bragging about a performance he had 8 years ago. That was his best win. That was his best win. That's where he really showed out. That was his coming out. That was his coming out fight. But since then, he went back in the crib. That was his coming out fight, and the nigga went right back in the crib afterwards. Shit, almost a decade old, bro. 8 years ago, nigga, I was 19 years old. Nigga, I was fresh out of high school. I'm a grown ass man now with about to be in his late 20s with a fucking 1-year-old. That nigga, his best win was 8 years ago when I was 19 years old. And the nigga 27 now. Pitbull aged badly. Barrios ain't no world beater neither. But the thing is, them niggas all came back the reason why I say it aged well is because after they lost to Tank, they became world champion. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that Tank could always say. He beat 3 niggas that came back and became world champion? Rolly, Pitbull, and Barrios. And there's probably some more. I don't even know. You gotta think about it. But that's 3 niggas that he could be like, oh, I beat them, and then they came back and they became world champion. So that's something he could say, and niggas can't say he wrong, but you know, you could also say that them wins age terribly. Life is definitely crazy, my brother. So let's get into some open boxing topics, man. You know what I mean? We got 40 people in the building right now. I appreciate everybody that's coming through and showing love as always. You feel what I'm saying? It's currently 11:42. You know what I mean? In Philadelphia, and I'm looking to be out of here by 12 a.m., 12:10. You feel what I'm saying? So let's talk. That Hector win isn't aging well so far. Hey, man. I don't know, bro. Jordan Sheriff says there must have been a point in Tank's career where he lost the desire to be great. The question is, Jordan, in all honesty, when have we ever heard Tank ever talk about wanting to be great? I feel like from the very beginning, before Gervonta could really figure out who he was or what his intentions was with the game, he was snatched up by Floyd Mayweather and was brainwashed to believe that the game needs to be approached this certain way. It's all about the money, it ain't about the legacy. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? But you want to know how Floyd, listen, you want to know how you know Floyd full of shit? Because he tell fighters to just worry about the money and don't worry about nothing else. Belts collects dust. He didn't even follow that blueprint himself. Floyd played his money Mayweather role and shit like that, but trust me, Floyd gave a fuck about his legacy just as much as the belts. Floyd had a different love for the sport, but he plays this character where it's like all the only thing that matters, the only thing in the equation that matters is the bread. Floyd will tell you belts don't matter, then later on had a whole picture with the pool table filled with all of his belts. Do y'all remember that picture? Let me see if I can find that shit. This nigga, if titles don't matter. Look at this picture right here, y'all. This nigga Floyd got this iconic ass picture where he got all his belts laid out on the table. Look at this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 world titles on his motherfucking pool table, cuz. If belts don't matter, then why the fuck did you feel the need to take a picture with all your belts? Why didn't you get rid of all your belts? If belts just collect dust, Floyd, stop bullshitting, bro. This is the reality of the situation. Floyd is full of shit. Floyd don't want to see nobody surpass him. He don't want to see nobody break his records. He makes it clear all the time. Whenever somebody gets a little bit of heat behind their name, he finds a way to try to involve himself in their careers or get his name mentioned with that same name in the headlines. You see what I'm saying? He saw Bud cooking up a little bit. He wanted to talk. He wanted to talk about how he should fight David Benavidez and all this crazy shit. He wanted, Devin Haney became undisputed. He started talking about how belts didn't matter and how, would you rather have 4 belts and make, 1 million, or would you rather have 2 belts and make 10 million? Like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about, bro? What the fuck is you talking about? Like, Floyd really is a toxic motherfucker, bro, because he's telling these fighters, don't worry about the fans, don't worry about the belts, just get your money. When Floyd didn't even do that in his own career. He's telling these guys that, and they think they think that he has their best interest the whole time. He giving you that advice so you could ultimately not supersede what he did in his career. Floyd faked in the motherfucker, bro. Floyd, excellent fighter. One of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of gloves. The most successful boxer in boxing history. One of the smartest motherfuckers, if not the smartest businessman, that put on a pair of boxing gloves, without a doubt. But he's a hating. When Adrian Broner used to go around saying Floyd was a hating ass nigga, he wasn't really wrong. Adrian Broner got his problems too, but he wasn't really wrong. They say even a broken clock is right twice a day. Broner one of them niggas. Whenever he spoke about Floyd, Broner off about a lot of shit, but whenever he spoke about Floyd, he revealed some truth. Belts made you the money. Yeah, but that's what he don't want to tell them guys that. He don't want to tell them guys that. But the guys who actually noticed that Floyd was full of shit, Floyd went out of his way to try to destroy. Devin Haney, Bill Haney, they knew he was full of shit. You know what I'm saying? And they knew that he had them hating tendencies in him, and because he didn't sign with Mayweather, because Bill and Devin didn't sign with Mayweather Promotions, he felt the way about it. He wanted to be a part of Devin's success, and Devin Haney chose his own route and found success, and Floyd was conflicted about that. So he went against a kid who idolized him since he was a fucking puppy, to go ahead and he backstabbed him to go give the other guy who disrespected Floyd in the past, and Ryan Garcia, information, or was supporting him on his road to temporarily defeating Devin Haney. Reef Hound says he said that because he felt the game ain't love him back after he beat Oscar, and before that he was ducked and not considered a pound-for-pound fighter after he defeated Zab and Carlos Baldomir. Well, I remember that Floyd was considered the pound-for-pound number one guy in the world when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. I could hear it on the commentary and all. I even got a Ring magazine, an old Ring magazine from around that time. I believe it was like 2008, where Floyd was ranked the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world on their ranking. So, regardless, this is what I'm gonna say, right? Floyd was ducked, but he was considered a pound-for-pound fighter. You know what I'm saying? Especially around the time that he fought Oscar. But he wanted to transcend and become, not only a pound-for-pound number one, but the biggest star in the sport of boxing, right? I don't really want, this shit. I feel like I'm so repetitive with this shit. But I don't feel like he said that because he felt like the game ain't love him back. Because he talked about how much love he felt when he was in the UK and all that shit, and how he was going to move to the UK. So he felt love before. You feel what I'm saying? What I'm going to say is, I feel like Floyd has a genuine problem with somebody taking over his spot. Floyd, to this day, still is out here flexing, talking about how he's the biggest name in the sport of boxing. He loves that. He loves the fact that, in his head, he's still number one, or that he's still relevant. He's still talked about. Floyd doesn't want nobody to surpass him. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's seen that Gervonta Davis had potential and that he was capable of, being bigger than Floyd or possibly surpassing him. So I think that he really successfully, along with Mayweather Promotions, brainwise Tank into believing that boxing is all about this and not about that. And as a result, boxing fans are suffering because Tank is under the impression that he's moving the right way when he really isn't. And if he were to open his mind up and see the route that Floyd took, then he would know that what Floyd said or what Floyd, instilled in him was bullshit. if a nigga like Floyd took all these big, dangerous fights in his career, you know what I mean? You noticing it. He fought a fucking prime Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo. He fought Chop Chop Corley. He fought Emmanuel Augustus. This man went through the trenches. Gennaro Hernandez. Then when he started moving up in weight, he fought Zab Judah, a young Zab Judah. He beat the Carlos Baldomir, like Reef Hound said. I could keep going. Undefeated Ricky Hatton. Uh, he took a dangerous road, and in the process of completing these legacy, defining fights, he picked up a bag. All Gervonta got to do is just look into Floyd's career more, carefully, and he'll know that. Damn, if Floyd really feel like this is the key to success, then why he took this route? Because the advice that he's giving you ain't no real advice. In all honesty, it's some shit that could be very hurtful to you and not put you within the same realm as Floyd, which is what he wants at the end of the day. The last thing Floyd wants is a nigga to be compared to him. He hate that shit. He even hate when they compared when there was Ali comparisons. Shit, I would have loved to have been compared to Ali if I made it that far in boxing, but not Floyd. Floyd started bringing up how he lost to Ken Norton and he lost to somebody who had 7 fights and all. Like, stop it, bro. Stop it. Discrediting Ali to make yourself seem big. You're a fucking goofy, bro. You're a goofy. Why can't y'all niggas coexist? What's wrong with coexisting? Floyd has a problem with people being anywhere near him, his realm of legacy. He hates when a motherfucker outshine him. Period. So if belts collect dust and belts don't mean shit, and you over here degrading niggas' accolades in terms of becoming undisputed, why you felt the need to do that? Because you're proud of that shit, Floyd. All that shit you saying is cap. You trying to hurt the next generation so they don't become as popular as you or surpass you or, supersede your accolades. You care about them belts, Floyd. You care about your legacy. I'm willing to bet that you care just as much about your legacy than the money that you receive through boxing. I guarantee you that. But you don't want to let these people know that, because the last thing you want to do is let these young niggas know that legacy is just as important as money, because they're gonna start taking chances. And there's gonna be a lot of niggas who gonna roll the dice and come out successful more times than not. And then they're gonna start comparing you guys and how, they might say that this dude might be greater than you, and you don't want to have those conversations. Those type of conversations make you uncomfortable. This is my opinion, though. Let me see. Yeah, Floyd tried to sign a couple people and failed because he not good money, bro. He not good money. Look how many people done left Mayweather Promotions, bro. I ended up doing better without him. First of all, he destroyed Mickey Bay's career. Destroyed it. Jalen Love, he ain't end up doing shit. Badu Jack, he did all right. You know what I mean? But he could have been much bigger. Gervonta ended up leaving his ass. He tried to sign Shakur Stevenson. Shakur ain't go with him. He signed with Top Rank. He tried to sign Devin Haney. Devin Haney ain't signed with him. He went his free agent route because they ain't need the money. Richardson Hitchens was on the shelf. He had to leave. He just became world champion. Savannah Marshall was signed with them. She ended up leaving. She ended up becoming world champion, I believe. Had a big fight with Clarissa Shields, and she's still one of the top dogs, in the female boxing world. Joanne Ingram had him. They building this kid up. I think he just left Mayweather Promotions. If you got a history of motherfuckers not wanting to be with your stable and leaving, that's a lot. That's a red flag, bro. Why would I take the chance to be at your promotional stable? Well, I can make you a star. Well, I can make you a star. Yeah, you can make me a star, but why are all your niggas leaving you? You said KSI managed Joanne, but that's the thing. KSI might make that nigga more active. You know what I mean? KSI, he touching some bread. He might be able to put that nigga on a few cards a year, 4 or 5 fights a year, and keep that nigga active. KSI might manage his career better than Floyd would. Ain't that funny? Jalil Hackett, that's another one, was on the shelf with them. And although he came up short in one of his last bouts, since he been with Eddie Hearn, he been active. He been doing better. His name been more relevant. Floyd too much of a hater. He too egotistical to be a promoter, bro. He too self-centered. When you a promoter, you got to be real, especially if you was a former fighter, you pretty much got to let go of who you was and not really bring up yourself and take priority in bigging up other fighters. Floyd don't got that within his character to do that. That's why he was never a successful promoter. With all the power and influence that he got, why isn't he the biggest promoter? Because he got character flaws within him that won't allow him to be the big promoter he's supposed to be. Reeve Hound said people don't flourish with Floyd because he's an egomaniac and he don't have that core group of people who love boxing like Roger and Floyd Sr., and Floyd is too selfish to put anyone before him. That's what I just said, my brother. So we on the same page. All they got is Carmel. See how long that shit lasts. One thing about Floyd, though, like, even though, like, he, overall not a great promoter, if he really set his sights on, like, one fighter and his mission is to make them a star, he gonna do it. He'll make them just big enough, and then once they get to a certain level, he want to try to hold them back, and that's when the fighters want to, they want to fly on their own. You know what I mean? They want to get their own wings, and Floyd don't like. He want niggas to be under his left titty forever. You know what I'm saying? Used to be my dog. You was in my left titty. Said ride or die, but tell you won't ride with me. Like Floyd, one of them type niggas. He wants you to be under his wing forever. The day that you choose to split from him or fly elsewhere, that's when he consider you an enemy. That's when he gets salty. Anonymous said, "What you think about the Benavidez Morel Hawani interview?" I thought that shit was hilarious. These guys do not like each other, bro. Benavidez be talking crazy. Morel don't think much of Benavidez, and I could tell that pisses Benavidez off. This nigga Morel treats Benavidez like he's a nobody. He keep calling him easy, RoboCop. He said, "All you got is fast hands. You ain't got no power." Benavidez ain't never been talked to like that. Morel got a very arrogant attitude about himself that, like, he don't think much of anybody when it comes to himself. He's that confident. And you could tell that really gets under Benavidez's skin. The lack of respect that Morel has for him really pisses him off. And we're going to see how Benavidez reacts to that on fight night, man. There might be some psychological warfare on Morel's part. Morel definitely getting under Benavidez's skin, but we got to see whether that works in his favor or that works against him, because we seen fighters get emotional and the fight go against them, like Teofimo, and then there was niggas who, when you got under their skin, they performed better, like Oscar De La Hoya. So it's all about, how they approach it and how they react to it. There's some niggas that the last thing you want to do is piss them off because you get them locked in a different level. And there's some people that you want to piss off because you can throw them off their game. People vary. You feel me? Benavidez fights better emotional. I think he performs the same whether he's angry or not, because Andre and him didn't really have no issues. He beat Andre ass. Shit got personal with Caleb Plant, beat his ass. So I think he just has the same approach regardless. I don't think he's that emotional of a person, but at the same time, I don't think he's ever been disrespected like how the way Morel disrespected him. So we're going to see if he stays focused like his previous fights or he goes against the wind. We'll see. But to be honest with you, I didn't get to watch the full interview because, for one, I was at work. They strict with phone usage and shit like that. And two, the audio was kind of bad, man. So I'm like, what the fuck? Hold up real quick, y'all. I'm about to beat this cat the fuck up. Come over here, bitch. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Bitch ass nigga. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Scratch your fucking door. Allegedly. Yeah, Crawford one of them niggas you can't talk shit to neither. Cause that shit charge him up. Morel crazy for throwing his belt at Benavidez though. I'm surprised they ain't pissed the sanctioning body off. That lets you know how crazy Morel is though. Cause how many niggas throwing their belt at somebody? They cherish them belts. You know what I mean? He would have, it would have been normal if he would have dropped it and went after Benavidez. No, he threw it at him. Tank fight better, a little emotional too. Yeah. He was emotional with Pedraza. But his most recent fights, even when, there's been trash talk going his way, he always seemed relaxed and, focused. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he let the emotions get to him anymore. I think he's matured a little bit in that way. Reef Hound said the thing nobody is saying about Morel, we never seen how he's going to react when he can't do what he wants and when he's down on the cards. Oh, I brought that up before. I brought up his inexperience, him being green and, never fighting on that level before. And when he had a little bit of a competitive bout against Hot Rod, he showed a lot of frustration. He showed a lack of, experience in terms of staying calm and, staying focused on the game plan. You know what I'm saying? I seen Morel look green in there. I seen him show vulnerability in there. He wanted to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm not trying to come across like he lost or anything like that. But what I'm saying is he showed some green in him. You know what I'm saying? Almost like he didn't know how to approach somebody, provided him a little bit of resistance. He might have learned for that, so he could be in a better mind frame with Benavidez. But Benavidez is going to give you unless he sparked Benavidez early. I think he's going to give him a lot more resistance than Hot Rod gave him. So we're going to see. But I brought that up before, man. When you really look at Morel's boxing record and who he's faced and what he's been through in the ring, he's a baby. A lot of these dudes are basing Morel beating Benavidez off of the eye test or what he's done to low-tier opposition, if we be honest. When we look over what Benavidez did and Morel did, it's night and day. Benavidez has shown you a whole lot more character. He's shown to be a lot more experienced. He's shown to be more experienced in high-level fights and rising to the occasion and making adjustments. A lot of people are basing Morel winning based off of what they seen him do to lower-tier guys like Calvin Henderson and fucking Edge Becco and shit like that. Like, that's cool that he's doing that to that level of competition, but Benavidez is a whole different obstacle. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll see. Can Morel pull it off? Absolutely. Because we see inexperienced people show to be, elite level guys. And believe it or not, everybody was considered inexperienced until they stepped on somebody. When Floyd beat Genaro Hernandez, they was looking at him like he was inexperienced. A lot of people, I was reading old articles from back then. They was talking about how Floyd might not be ready. So he stepped on Genaro Hernandez. Then they got an idea of who he really was. So this might be Morel's coming out party. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? This might be Morel coming out party, but based off of what I know and what I've seen, I don't know, man. I think Benavidez is gonna pull it off. Yeah, Reef, I seen exactly what you saw, brother. You see him try to load up with the right hand. He didn't know how to. He was too frustrated to slow his mind down to like calm down and get the understanding. Like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm loading up on my right hand. He's seeing them. He's avoiding them. Let me try to sneak in this right hand. How you gonna sneak in that right hand? By punching in combinations. You know what I'm saying? But he was so frustrated and he was so frustrated in the moment, he didn't take the time to slow down and actually think his way through the fight. Because if he would have been able to do that, he probably would have stopped Hot Rod. But that comes from a lack of experience at a high level. And that wasn't even a high level. Think about it, yo. It wasn't really a high level. So Morel started dancing mid-interview. You talking about the Ariel Hawani, John? He said some funny shit though. They was like, I think Ariel asked Morel, he was like, why don't you like Benavidez? He was like, first of all, because I got a wife. He said, I got a wife. I ain't know a play like that. I was like, nigga, do you understand what he said, or you just clowning? Morel got a long way to go with his English. Yeah, Ralph, that's exactly what happened. He was used to hitting motherfuckers and them going down. And Hot Rod wasn't going for that. So he was like, damn, I'm hitting this nigga and he ain't going nowhere. What the fuck going on? This ain't something I'm accustomed to. Like, fall down, nigga. And he was like, no. And I'm not comparing the two at all. I think Morel is a lot better, but same shit happened with Berlanga. Berlanga was used to hitting niggas, them going down. And when they stopped going down, he started biting niggas. So these things happen when your frustration could get the best of you if you not experiencing certain things. You know what I mean? I like Reef's questions today, man. He said, and I spoke about this yesterday. He said, how you feel about Floyd Scofield not going to the press conference and firing his whole camp 6 weeks away from the biggest fight? Well, to answer the first question, they said it was because somehow somebody compromised their passports. Who the fuck is in your crib to compromise your passports where, you know what I mean? They tore out one specific page, and as a result of them, ripping out the page out of both of y'all passports, y'all wasn't able to come to London. That shit ain't make no type of sense. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't really believe that. But in terms of him firing his entire camp, I'm assuming they talking about Joanne Guzman. Maybe he feels like Joanne Guzman was the snake. I think that's what he's alluding to. I don't know exactly what the details are, but it just sounds like a whole lot of, Joanne Guzman probably is a snake. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe they is fucking with Scofield and them behind the scenes, for some psychological warfare. I don't know. I don't know the details. I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is, it seems like there's a lot of pressure it seems like they feeling the pressure. It's a whole lot of paranoia going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like they feeling what's coming their way. And with all the shit that they was talking, they gotta perform well. Because if they don't, that shit really gonna jeopardize their reputation, in my opinion. They might have been training with the mole Ryan Garcia head of his camp. Oh, you talking about that Asian dude? Are you okay? The one that broke Ryan ribs in sparring. Are you okay? I remember that shit. But nah, real shit though. To answer your question, Reef, it sounds like it's a lot of paranoia going on in that camp. Seems like they feeling the pressure. Hopefully they don't crumble to it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That reasoning for why they didn't show up to the press conference, though, I thought that shit was a little weird. I ain't gonna lie. Both of y'all passports was compromised. They ripped the page out of y'all book where y'all couldn't put y'all signature. And because you couldn't put y'all signature, you couldn't fly out nowhere. Both of y'all passports. So imagine a nigga breaking in your crib just to rip out one page out of y'all passport. But how the fuck that even makes sense? But I think that's what he said. Let me go back and see what he said, bro. Let me go back and see what Scofield daddy said, bro. So I just want to make sure I ain't tripping. Auntie Sco is panicking. He made Joanne Guzman sign an NDA before he left camp so he can't speak on what really happened. What? Really? Let me see something. Yo, stop, bro. Cut it out. I hate these dumbass cats, bro.
The Ring Magazine Award, before that. I was like,
I didn't watch it because they turned it on, but I was just.
You don't know that, Pop's got a.
Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing.
Yeah, man.
How that nigga can play music on his live and I can't?
I like to see Teofimo Lopez, and I said, I would like to see you become a 5-division world champion. Get that whole year, Douglas.
Yeah, I was a little late.
Nah, we was no damn late. We had issues with the passport, so we had to go resolve it tomorrow. So everything good for the fight, but they wouldn't allow him to get on the plane due to his passport yesterday.
Damn, man.
Somebody tried to
Don't spill the tea.
Somebody tried to sabotage us, man. Like, who breaking the houses to steal motherfuckers' passports and vandalize?
It was that y'all lost the passport, or they didn't want it, or the airport.
When he went to the airport, his was vandalized. Somebody tore out the signature page out of his and completely stole mine. So I don't know who breaking the house don't steal jewelry, nothing, just steal passports, unless that was a setup.
So Floyd Scofield passport was vandalized. They ripped the one signature page out of his passport and they completely stole the dad's. They ain't breaking his house and stole no jewelry. They ain't breaking his house and stole nothing of value. A nigga broke into your crib to steal a passport and a signature page. They ain't steal no jewelry. Ask my son, they stole his passport. They vandalized my son's passport. Ask my son. He ripped his signature page out. That's why they ain't even let him on the plane. Oh my God. Shout out to my boy Denitric Banner with the $2 super chat. My brother, I appreciate you supporting the channel as always. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for the super chats. I've been getting a lot of super chats lately, man. More than usual, because I usually don't get any. So salute.
But it is what it is. So you learn and you grow. And we
you already having baby mama problems, man? Is it that?
Nah, my baby, we cool.
All right. I'm just, hey, you know, in the boxing world, we're hearing a lot of these relationships, boxers and the women, and you know what I'm saying?
I keep my private life private. You know, I don't gotta worry about that.
All right, because even people, people was like, because we all know that Pop's got a history in the past. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the can before, and people was like, damn, is this a situation where, like, remember when Bill Haney couldn't go to Australia? Damn, right. It was that he can't get a passport. Was it that? That's what people. There's people that saying that online and stuff like that. That they couldn't make it or nothing.
I was getting sent regardless. My dad was sending me regardless. So I was gonna go by myself.
Yeah, I wasn't even going for this one. I had my co-manager already. He was there going there. So.
All right, for the people, y'all already know. So stop saying what y'all saying. All right, we clear that.
Do y'all really believe that Floyd Scofield dad will allow his son to go to the UK without him? As territorial, like he don't even let his son do interviews. Think about this shit, y'all. That like really think about it and knowing who Floyd Scofield Sr. is so far. As controlling and territorial as he is about his son, he don't even let his son do interviews alone because he says his frontal cortex is not fully developed yet. So because of that, he's pretty much, that's the reason why, you know what I mean, he don't let his son do solo interviews and things of that nature, right? So you mean to tell me that you was going to let your son go to the UK and go to a press conference by himself when you don't even let this nigga do interviews by himself? I call bullshit. On some real shit, Daddy Sco, I think you the one who ripped that signature page out his motherfucking passport. Let's go, champ. You think you slick, nigga. You know, we know what the fuck you did. You couldn't stand the fact that your son was about to go to the UK by himself, because that would include doing solo interviews and you know, interacting by himself. You cannot stand the fact that your son might shine without you. So he was like, I'm gonna just rip this page out his book. He ain't going nowhere without me. And that's exactly what happened. Your passport just completely ended up missing. And this nigga passport is there, but it's missing the page that's needed to board an international flight. So he out here blaming other people when it might have been him his whole time. No, it wasn't nobody, nigga. It was your ego. But that's just me, you know, being a little conspiracy theorist, you know what I'm saying? I don't know for sure. But with your story don't really make sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Now, but man, this was an epic press conference, an epic weekend out there in London with the Ring magazine and everybody, man. Shit, man, I wish y'all would have been out there, man.
It's all good. We're gonna be out there when we win that goddamn title. They can't stop us from getting that title no matter what kind of things they put.
But y'all got the passport. Y'all figuring it out to go to rehab season, right? To go to
yeah. That's straight. We'll have that passport in 2 weeks. Everything is good.
So what y'all gotta say about Shakur Stevenson saying that y'all had cold, that you got cold feet? That's the reason why you ain't showing up.
I didn't watch.
Because I know Kid will swim out there if he has to. He will swim out there, Shakur.
I didn't watch it.
Damn,
because they turned it on, but I was just so pissed off that I couldn't be there because, you know, that's a big moment. So I was like, I ain't watching this, yo. I didn't watch it at all. But my phone was blowing up saying, you know, Shakur saying you got scared. And in my head, I'm like, of what? like, forget the press conference, all that other stuff. I wanted to go to London because that's one of my top places I want to see. It's been since I was a kid, you know, ever since I watched the Austin Power movies. So, like, I always wanted to go to London. But hearing that, I'm, like, scared of what? Like, he's not no threat to nobody. So I wanted to look him face to face, you know. But I didn't get the chance to. So he going to see me fight night. You know, he see me fight night. I hope he keep the same energy because
I think at first also was, you know, that they had the Ring Magazine Award, and he was out there, and the impression was that, man, kid is staying in the States training. You take a little break, huh? And people was like, oh, Shakur Stevenson just taking with a 3-day break without training and in a big fight like this? Is he looking past you? Huh? That he want to take breaks?
Nah. It was all mandatory for all of us to go. For him, like it was mandatory for everybody to go. So we glad it worked out like that. Due to them trying to sabotage us, they gave us more camp time by like they out there taking pictures and smiling. We grinding and working. Their ass in trouble, Punch. They can't do nothing. They nervous. They trying everything.
I can't wait to get mine.
Y'all heard what Scofield dad just said? He's saying about them going over. Y'all got to pay attention to what these motherfuckers be saying, man, because they'll tell you the truth. You know what I mean? Right in the course of their lives. The dad just said it's a good thing. You know, I'm glad it all worked out this way because they was trying to sabotage us. So he considers going over to London for a fucking press conference, sabotaging them. I'm trying to process this shit real quick. He's saying that them going over to London for a press conference is sabotaging them, and that just gave them more time to train while they out there taking pictures and shit like that. Floyd Scofield's dad just exposed why he did not allow his son to go to London. Because they feel like they need more time to prepare for Shakur Stevenson. That they feel like that time away is time that they're not progressing. He telling you right there, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I guarantee you that they were supposed to go to London. They were capable of going to London, but they held back so they could continue training while Shakur do all the promotion. I guarantee you that's what they did. Because they felt like if they would have went to London, that would have held back on their progress, and they need every moment necessary in training to get ready for Shakur Stevenson.
Hey, how motivated? Kid, every time, like every interview, is like it goes from
the dad is literally telling you the truth. He's telling you truthful things in the midst of his lie. He's telling you how he feels subconsciously about going to London and all that shit. Reef. Think about this shit logically, bro. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but just in case you aren't. He said, I think he's trying to say the fake mole in his camp who ripped the passport is trying to sabotage them. Do you really think that there was a mole in Scofield's camp that ripped a page out of Floyd Scofield Jr.'s book and then completely stole Senior's book just so they wouldn't go to London? Just so they wouldn't go to London. Everybody and their mom was at London. Oh, okay, you was being sarcastic. All right, cool. Because, you know, there's people who be dead serious and put out that same statement. There's no fucking way. Jordan Sheriff said, do you think Senior will have issues getting into Saudi with his criminal history? I'm sure that was something that was already spoken about, and I'm sure Turkey Al-Sheikh could probably make some type of exception to go over there, you know, similar to how Bill Haney got an exception to go to Australia for the Devin fight. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's fighters that went over to Saudi Arabia and they got criminal records themselves, or trainers of fighters. A lot of these trainers be having criminal backgrounds and shit. And, you know, they done been out to, I'm sure they'll make an exception for sure. Because Senior fuck around and won't let his son fight if he ain't working the corner. Because that's the difference between Bill Haney and a Floyd Scofield. Floyd Scofield won't let his son fight if he's not allowed in the country. When Bill Haney was about to not be allowed in Australia, they sent Yoel Judah over there. He was going to allow his son to fight without him. He not that egotistical. Bill Haney be talking shit, and you know what I mean, he might be annoying to some type of people, but he going to let his son shine, even if it don't involve him. And that's real father shit. They're gonna make some adjustments. They're gonna let him over there. What you see, Ronnie? I don't think I remember they said prior to the Shakur Stevenson fight that they was no longer working with Ronnie. You know, and he went as far as to say that Ronnie was never Floyd Scofield's trainer, that he was this is the father's words. He said that Ronnie Shields was only his mentor. He wasn't his son trainer. I call bullshit. I don't believe that at all. But Joanne Guzman was working with him, made him sign an NDA for some reason, and released him and fired him. Probably saw Joanne Guzman's recipe, took the recipe, and then kicked Joanne out so he could use it. Now that he know Joanne Guzman recipe, I mean, he kicked him out of camp, and you know he could run off with the recipe and shit like that. I believe Scofield would do some shit like that. I genuinely believe that he like, all right, I'm gonna bring this nigga in camp and see what he teach my son. I'm gonna steal what he teach my son, then I'm gonna kick him out. So you know what I mean. So it can only just be me involved. Some trainers are that egotistical. I met Ronnie Shields. Where was it at? I met Ronnie Shields at the Santander Arena in Reading, PA. On the PBC card. We was sitting ringside. Ronnie Shields is a real quiet. He like to himself, real shy, humble dude. Was real nice to us. I didn't get to take a picture with him. My dad did, but I wasn't able to. Besides Senior, who's in Scofield's corner, I have no idea. You know, obviously you need a cut man. You know what I mean? And you'll need like a second assistant. I think when it's a world title fight, you can have 4 people in your corner. Lead trainer, cut man, second assist, and I don't know who else. But I think you can have up to four men in your corner doing a championship bout. That's how it is over here. I don't know how it's going to be over there, though. Reef, I agree with you, but it is what it is. But I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel. We had a great conversation today. Shout out to the 46 people that's in the building. If y'all could hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated, man. Y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. You know, as always, this Mazuma TV. I'll be back at y'all with another live. You know, I'll be back at y'all with another short tomorrow, man. Shout out to Mazuma TV clip. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Shout out to my boy Denitric Banner for the super chat today. It is very much appreciated. I'm gonna go catch up on some rest. You know what I mean? I gotta get up early tomorrow and get my son ready and all that good shit. So y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm out of here, man. Peace.